The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a...
Buckle up, everyone, because this story is absolutely wild, full of more twists and turns than a high-speed roller coaster. So let's dive right in. Picture this. Sunny Hostin, the bold and outspoken co-host of The View, known for her fiery takes on everything from politics to pop culture, suddenly finds herself at the center of a legal and personal storm that has everyone talking. And no, this isn't just your typical tabloid gossip, this is next level. We're talking federal lawsuits, accusations of fraud, and even whispers of some serious behind-the-scenes drama. If you thought Sunny was just about heated debates on daytime TV, think again, because this scandal has her name splashed all over it in the worst way possible. Let's break it all down.
I forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality and equality system.
First, let's set the stage with the central figure in this unfolding disaster, Drew Emmanuel Hostin, Sunny's husband. Emmanuel was a well-respected orthopedic surgeon, or at least he was until this bombshell lawsuit dropped. American Transit, a major insurance company, has accused Drew Hostin and nearly 200 others of running a massive fraud operation, and we're not talking about some minor billing errors here. No, the lawsuit alleges that this scheme was so elaborate it could put a Hollywood heist movie to shame. According to the claims, Drew Hostin was performing unnecessary medical procedures, surgeries that patients didn't even need, just to pocket the insurance money. And if that wasn't shocking enough, the lawsuit has been filed under RICO laws. Yes, the same laws originally designed to take down organized crime. So, this isn't just a slap on the wrist. This is as serious as it gets.
The documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Now, here's the kicker. The accusations don't stop with Drew Hostin. Rumors are swirling that Sunny herself might have known more about her husband's alleged activities than she's letting on. And let's not forget, before Sunny became a household name on The View, she was a federal prosecutor. That's right, her entire career was built on upholding the law and cracking down on corruption. The irony here is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. People are already speculating. Did Sunny use her legal expertise to help cover up her husband's tracks? Could she have been the mastermind behind it all? Or is she just an innocent bystander caught in the chaos? Either way, the internet is buzzing and opinions are flying left and right.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys, wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
Now let's talk about the lawsuit itself, because this isn't just some run-of-the-mill courtroom drama. American Transit is accusing Drew Hostin and the other defendants of exploiting New York's no-fault insurance laws. For those who don't know, these laws are designed to help accident victims get their medical bills covered without having to prove who was at fault. But according to the lawsuit, Drew and his alleged co-conspirators turned this system into their personal piggy bank. They're being accused of performing unnecessary procedures, submitting bogus claims, and raking in tens of millions in fraudulent payouts. And here's where it gets even more scandalous. Under RICO laws, any damages awarded in the case could be tripled. So if the court finds Drew guilty, we're talking about potentially billions in penalties. That's enough to completely destroy even the most well-established careers.
He was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
But wait, it gets worse. Reports are now emerging that federal investigators executed a search warrant at the Hostin residence and allegedly discovered large sums of cash hidden away. And we're not talking about pocket change here. We're talking stacks upon stacks of money, enough to raise eyebrows, enough to fuel endless speculation. Was this cash part of the alleged fraud scheme? Or is there another explanation? Sunny, of course, has denied any—
Married, if your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wife—
And speaking of public backlash, the drama isn't just unfolding outside. There's plenty of tension on the set of The View itself. Sunny's co-hosts have been noticeably tight-lipped about the scandal, but you can feel the tension in the air. Fans of the show have picked up on it too, with some speculating that the network might already be considering cutting ties with Sunny to protect The View's reputation. After all, the show thrives on tackling tough issues and holding people accountable, so can they really keep Sunny on the panel while she's embroiled in such a messy legal battle? It's a question that's only adding fuel to the fire.
Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance.
Now let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just a story about one doctor allegedly committing fraud or one TV personality facing backlash. This is about the intersection of power, privilege, and accountability. Sunny Hostin has always positioned herself as a champion of justice, someone who fights for the little guy and speaks truth to power. But if these allegations hold any weight, that image could be shattered completely. And what about the patients caught up in this alleged scheme? If the claims are true, then real people, many of them taxi and rideshare drivers, were subjected to unnecessary medical procedures just so someone else could profit. That's not just unethical, it's downright horrifying.
It's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
And let's not forget the legal implications for Sunny herself. If investigators uncover any evidence that she was involved in her husband's alleged activities, she could be facing charges of her own. And we're not talking about a slap on the wrist. We're talking about potential prison time, financial ruin, and the total collapse of her career. It's a high-stakes situation, and the pressure is mounting by the day. But here's the thing. Sunny isn't going down without a fight. In a fiery statement, she blasted American Transit, accusing the company of running a smear campaign against her family. She claims the lawsuit is nothing more than a desperate attempt to avoid paying out legitimate claims, and insists that her husband is innocent. Their legal team, led by high-profile attorney Mark Garagos, has already threatened to countersue American Transit for defamation, demanding $5 million in damages. According to Garagos, the lawsuit has caused irreparable harm to Drew Hostin's reputation and taken a toll on the emotional well-being of their family. But critics aren't buying it. They say Sunny's combative response is just a distraction, a way to shift focus away from the serious allegations against her husband.
Sunny Hostin of The View, who's constantly raging about race and reparations and how bad America is and its racial.
And let's not ignore the irony here. For years, Sunny has sat on The View, calling out public figures for their alleged misdeeds, whether it's politicians, celebrities, or anyone in between. She's built a career on holding people accountable, but now the tables have turned. She's the one under the microscope, and it's a classic case of the hunter becoming the hunted. And the internet, it's eating it up.
Is self-appointed, she knows everything. It's great to see her ego take this hit, but I think it will be short-lived.
It's amazing to listen to her talk.
As the legal battle progresses, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. The case against Drew Hostin could drag on for years, involving court filings, motions, and discovery processes. With so many defendants involved, there will undoubtedly be finger-pointing and shifting alliances. But the real question is, will this scandal destroy Sunny's career and public image? Can she survive the storm? Or is this the beginning of the end of her time in the spotlight? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. This case has everyone's attention, and it's not just a scandal. It raises bigger questions. How do we hold powerful people accountable? What happens when public figures fall from grace? And in an era where rumors spread like wildfire, how do we separate fact from fiction? These are the questions at the heart of this story, and the answers aren't easy.
No, I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out. Right. He does the heavy stuff.
Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, the drama takes a whole new turn. Every time it feels like the chaos has reached its peak, another bombshell drops, leaving everyone wondering what's next. Sunny Hostin and her husband, D. Emmanuel Hostin, find themselves at the center of a storm that only seems to be growing stronger. With every new detail that emerges, the situation becomes even more gripping, making it nearly impossible to look away.
Does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So
let's get right back into the chaos. While the allegations against D. Hostin are shocking on their own, The ripple effects of this scandal are just as compelling. A high-profile TV personality, someone who has built her entire brand on being a voice of reason and a fighter for justice, is now being dragged into the controversy surrounding her husband's alleged crimes. And here's where things take an even wilder turn. People are beginning to wonder if Sunny Hostin had a bigger role in this than she's letting on. Was she just a supportive spouse standing by her husband? Or was she actively involved in the inner workings of this alleged scheme? The whispers are growing louder, and the speculation isn't fading anytime soon. Now let's talk about those rumors because they're impossible to ignore. According to some sources, Sunny may have used her legal background. Remember, she's a former prosecutor, to help Dee Hostin navigate the murky waters of this alleged operation. Specifically, there are claims that she assisted in funneling money through a network of shell companies, using her expertise to create a complex paper trail designed to throw off investigators. And if that wasn't enough, there are also allegations that she acted as a middleman, moving funds around in a way that made them nearly impossible to trace. Now, to be clear, these are just allegations for now, but there's no denying that they paint a picture that's becoming harder and harder to ignore.
Perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
I know you. It's like twice a day.
Here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad. Okay.
Now let's add another layer to this already tangled situation. Over the years, Sunny has been very open about her personal life on The View. She's shared stories about her family, her marriage, and her values, crafting an image of someone relatable and grounded. But now, people are beginning to question just how much of that image is real. Because let's be honest, if even a fraction of these allegations against her husband turn out to be true, it raises serious doubts about what's really been happening behind the scenes. And here's where the irony hits the hardest. For someone who has built a career on holding others accountable, how does she justify either turning a blind eye to the situation, or worse, allegedly being involved in something so questionable?
It comes to us from Sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice.
And the hits just keep coming. Let's not forget the fallout happening over at The View. This scandal has put the show in an incredibly tough spot, and you can feel the tension every time Sunny walks onto that set. Her co-hosts have been unusually quiet about the situation, which is odd for a show built on discussing tough topics and speaking truth to power. But their silence is deafening, and fans are starting to wonder if something is happening behind the scenes. Could the producers be weighing their options, debating whether keeping Sunny on the show is worth the potential damage to its reputation? It's no secret that The View thrives on controversy, sparking debates and tackling the biggest issues of the day. But this might be a controversy they never saw coming.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
And let's not overlook the timing of all this. In the middle of this chaos, Sunny has continued to appear on The View, tackling hot-button issues and delivering her trademark fiery commentary. But fans have noticed a change. Her usual confidence seems a bit shaken, and there's a tension in her interactions with her co-hosts that wasn't there before. It's almost like she's trying to maintain a sense of normalcy, while the world crumbles around her. But can she really keep this up? And more importantly, should she? There are already whispers that the network might be considering her future on the show, weighing whether her presence is worth the risk to its reputation.
One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any, is she said, well, I guess that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this before. That was to me, the one thing that was missing.
And let's not overlook the timing of all this. In the middle of this chaos, Sunny has continued to appear on The View, tackling hot-button issues and delivering her trademark fiery commentary. But fans have noticed a change. Her usual confidence seems a bit shaken, and there's a tension in her interactions with her co-hosts that wasn't there before. It's almost like she's trying to maintain a sense of normalcy while the world crumbles around her. But can she really keep this up? And more importantly, should she? There are already whispers that the network might be considering her future on the show, weighing whether her presence is worth the risk to its reputation.